We're going to have strong, incredible borders, and people are going to come into our country, but they're going to come into our country legally. They're going to come in legally. We're going to build a wall. It's going to be built.
Dear Mr. President, come take a walk with me.
Since the beginning of his campaign, President-elect Donald Trump has suggested that we build a wall to fight the illegal immigration and crime that is coming over into the United States. The unauthorized immigrant population in 2016 was 11.3 million, lower than the peak in 2007 at 12.12 million. In 2016, for the first time in at least a decade, Mexicans did not account for the majority population of unauthorized immigrants.
When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're not sending you. They're not sending you. They're sending people that have lots of problems, and they're bringing those problems with us.
Statistics show the estimated 11.7 million illegal immigrants in the U.S. account for 13.6% of all offenders sentenced for crimes committed in the U.S. The states with the highest violent and property crime rates neither are the most populous nor house the largest number of immigrants. In 2016, the total number of arrests were about 8.4 million. 70% of all arrests were white, from which only 18% were Hispanic or Latino.
Researchers suggest that undocumented immigrants may be less likely to engage in serious criminal offending behavior because they seek to earn money and not to draw attention to themselves.
In reality, the cost to build would be around $25 billion. The cost is likely to be higher because the wall has been proposed to extend into remote and mountainous areas, which significantly raises the cost to build. Another factor to be considered is private property. Plus, the material that's going to be used, most likely concrete, still needs to be taken into account. Due to the construction of a bigger border wall, engineers would have to take into account natural flooding zones, since the wall would effectively act as a dam. Flooding problems will affect ecosystems since barriers make it harder for animals to find food, water, and mates. Scientists worry that the wall would disrupt some animal migrations with continuous noise and traffic from construction, along with habitats being destroyed in the process. It is very important for many animal populations to have the ability to freely move.
So I think the wall is a good idea because it will create more jobs for people to invest in. However, there is the point that it is extremely unnecessary and the problem of how exactly we're going to have it funded.
No, because it's a huge waste of money and people would still find a way to cross the border.
So I don't really support the wall, mainly because from what I've heard is that a lot of the immigrants who are actually here illegally are not here because they're crossing like through, but mainly people who have like work visas and then don't renew them or overstay more than they're permitted. So I would think that it would be smarter to allocate our money and resources into a better system for immigrants who are coming here just to work and making sure that we stay on top of them renewing their visas.
No, I don't think the wall would be a good idea because I feel like the resources that the United States have could be implemented somewhere else in order to unite two countries instead of separating the two of them. I believe the idea that Trump has to make Mexico more independent, not have the Mexicans, as I said, like take over like the economy or waste resources or anything like that. I think it's implemented wrongly, and there's several other ways that we could approach this.
Yes and no. Yes, because I do believe in the idea of a strong border security, but no, because I don't think the wall is the answer to that solution.
I don't agree with the wall because yes, it would help in some way, but there's already a wall, and most immigrants already don't come through the border. They actually overstay their visa. I think 6%, so that's why I don't agree with it.
I agree to Trump building the wall because I think it would benefit the U.S. in preventing or allowing better security for the border, and him fulfilling his promises into the U.S., but at the same time, I feel like it would be a bad idea because it's not sure if it'll prevent anything or even do anything, and plus waste a lot of the U.S.'s resources.
I don't think Trump's wall should be built because it doesn't only separate countries, but it separates something more important than that. This wall would separate families more than they're already separated. It separates communities that have learned to grow with each other and have learned to be part of each other.
Dear Mr. President, you'd never take a walk with me.